Hey everyone, today we are going to make this pumpkin card that I made earlier this week. So it's 3 layers. I used watercolor paper, micron pen, and watercolors to do this. And really, you could stamp it, you could use markers for the pumpkins, you could use colored pencil, whatever you like. I like to play with watercolor, so that's what we're going to look at today. Now, for your card, your base is your basic A2 card, and so that is 8.5 by 5.5 and scored at 4.25 for your card. The next piece is 5.25 by 4, so it's the smaller piece. Then we have this little strip. This is a great way to use some of your scraps. That is 1 3/8 by 3.5. And so it goes here. And then we have, I'm using watercolor paper that since I'm going to do some watercolor, and it doesn't ripple up as much if I tried to use watercolor on rather regular cardstock. And so this piece is 3 7/8 by 2 7/8, and then it goes here. Okay, now you can do this any way you want, right? You could make the squares bigger, you could make circles, you could do any shape that you want on here, and that's completely up to you. I just happen to kind of like this look. I'll probably change it up for others. Okay, the next part is how you want to do this next part, how you want to ink it. So some people adhere it when they do this, and so you could just stick a little glue dot under here, and it will pull your paper up, but it won't matter because you're going to put it on there. And so you just sort of put it where you want it to be. Let me see how I like that. How do I like if I put this here? I think I'll move it over a little. There you go. So again, it's really, this part's however you like it. So you'll, or what you could do is what I usually do is I just squish it and hold it. And if it slides a little, it's not a huge deal. And if you'll notice with this, you can see, you might be able to see the white on there, and that really doesn't bother me. I adhered this by using 2 different heights of puffy tape for a slightly raised one for this one and a little fatter one for that one. And so let's dive in. Let's see. Okay, so I have this here, and I'm going to start with, I chose different colors this time. I'm going to use these, and I'm going to put a little yellow, I think, on the edges, and we'll just play with it and see. Okay, so the thing is that I do want it to be straight, and I feel like that's glue dot's not holding it very straight. So I'm going to take the glue dot off. You can use it however you'd like. And it doesn't matter that I just got a little smear there. The fact is I'm a pretty messy crafter, and I often get it someplace, but in this case we're going to be stacking and hiding anyway. So I'm going to put it here. I'm going to start with yellow. I'm just going to kind of roll it in here any way that I want, but I'm going to make sure that I go over a little bit over each piece. Okay, however I like on there. And then I'm going to take, let's see, green, the citron it's called, for the middle piece. And again, I'm holding it really tightly because I did not glue it down. I think I might take the yellow a little more in there. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to overlap them a little anyway, like this. Or this green's a little bit there, it's fine. But I'm probably going to take the yellow over it. See how it slipped because I'm holding it? But you have lines, so it's fine. So if you're holding it, you just kind of slide them back into place, and it's not a big deal. And the same with this one. And then we are good to go. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing I've really learned as I've gone along, is that I used to like everything to be absolutely perfect, and now I'm really learning that it's okay if it's not. You know, it's just a piece of paper. I can always start over. And often I find that, you know what, I really liked that. I'm glad that I didn't change it. So I'm just going to go over the Liga again. Okay, and then we're going to go over this one with pickled raspberry from Tim Holtz. So, and that's a little bit bigger spot, so I'll probably come in with the green again. I'm gonna go make sure I get over this edge though a little bit, so maybe not, we'll see. It's not science, we're just gonna play around with what you like for your colors. So I am gonna take a little bit more green just to bring it down into this pink a little, and I'll bring the pink back up. Okay, so it is ready to go for the base, pretty much. The other thing I'm going to do, so I'm going to let go a little bit. My lines aren't perfect, it's okay. And I'm going to spray, let me grab my spray bottle, sorry. I'm just going to spray a little to get some extra, I don't know, it's not really dimension, but just a little extra look there, right? So, and that's one of the things I really love about the Distress inks. And then I'm using a baby wipe because that's what I had, and we hope I don't mess it up. It's okay. Yeah, see, that's nice. I can always come back and do more with that. So now I'm going to set these pieces aside, let them dry, and I'm going to dry this one up a little bit on its own, just to rush things a bit. Okay. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky. I should probably get around to fixing it. It actually annoys me a little bit, but hopefully it doesn't annoy you. So now I'm just going to draw a pumpkin. You can draw any kind of pumpkin you want. I think I'll draw a little fatter pumpkin, and we'll come here and make a little, okay, so if you have a stamp, feel free to use it. Make sure to use ink that will not be reactive. And I realized that I didn't do some of my little embellishments. I'm just going to go back. Again, it's just sort of artistic fun, however you might like it. I'll just turn that into a swirly. Make some lines. Oops. And I think I'll do, so I did a few little leaves down here. You can do whatever you want. If you have a stamp, that's a great place to put it. I'll just put a little one there. So it wasn't anything super fancy, just a little fun. Just a little fun card. Okay. Now the next thing is then we're going to paint it. And so I'm actually going to, the microns are supposed to be pretty good, but sometimes they do run a little, and I'm just going to run my heat gun over it just a little bit, just to make sure. And we'll see how it goes. So I am not a great artist or anything. I sort of figure out how to do it on my own, and I kind of have fun with it. So, you know, don't feel like you have to be an artist. I never went to school for it or anything. I just play around. And when I think it looks the way I like it, I quit. So that's my basic artistic bent there. So I'm using this little palette by Derwent, and it's a mixture of line and wash. It's a line and wash paint set. So it's a mixture of types of paints in it, and some of it are graphite, which I have to say I absolutely love the look of graphite, water soluble graphite. So I'm just gonna make a wash all the way over. My brush isn't very wet. All over then I'm gonna come back. You know, and depending on the style, I don't know that it particularly matters if you go out of the line here. Some styles are really loose and messy. Some are very tight and perfect, and that's kind of up to you. So watercolor, you want to remember that if you're going to leave a space, you want to do it first. You can lift a little, but like I'll lift right there because I didn't leave a space. I'm going to leave a space right there. And then I'm just going to use wet a little bit and soften that line a little, so it isn't so strong of a line. Okay. And I'm going to leave that because I'm going to come back over with a different one. So I'm going to change the brush a little bit. I didn't actually get this very wet, so I may not be able to get the effect that I want. So I think what I'm going to do is just add some water down here in the areas that I'm going to put some on the edges and pick up a different color. Just some shading to help it not look so flat. Right, just have a little look on here. Now, because it's watercolor, you can leave it like that. That's fine, you know. It's what you like. I'm gonna take my wet brush again and sort of flatten that out. And I'm gonna take some over here. Oops, see, I got a little right there. It's no problem. I'm gonna take my brush. I'm just going to wipe it away a little, and then take the brush here. Okay, so if you are going to use another medium, or, you know, which is very likely that you're a much better artist than I am, you can fast forward through this part. If you're kind of new to it all, or you're trying to pick up a few little extra skills, then paint along with me. That's fine. I would love to see your artwork as well. So I'm really just going to build this a little bit more. Say, like, it's still kind of flat to me, and I think I probably will come back over with this with some orange just to blend it in a little bit. I think that's a little too much. And then we're just gonna take my it's just mostly water right there. And then I probably want this to be, I think I do want this to be darker, which is fine. So I'm just gonna give it another wash over, and then I'm probably going to dry it a little for the next layer. Personally, I love watercolor. I have friends who are really excellent artists, and they really hate it. I like colored pencil also. They also hate that. Part of it is that when you use watercolor and colored pencil, some of those you have to think sort of backwards. You have to think, what do I want my light spaces to be like? And then I'm going to leave them, right? And have the space rather than add them. So yeah, we're getting there. I'm just gonna give it a little. Up a little. So you can see on my lines that it's washed out a little bit. I'm just going to go back over it with a micron when I'm done. I'm going to come back and add some color into the pumpkin in a little bit, but right now I'm just going to hit the leaves. And you know, it's up to you on this. It's just a greeting card, and well, I say just a greeting card, but I love doing them. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece, you know. It can be simple, and that's okay. It can be not simple if you want it. That's also okay. This is your work, and you can do it the way that you want to do it, to make it be how you want it to be. So I'm gonna, I'll probably go. And this is a trick an artist did show me, that if you'll roll your brush, it helps get your point. So I know the artists out there already know this, but the newbies might not. So I did not. And that's been a great tip for me. Okay, now I'm going to come in with just a little brown, do my little stem, and, you know, blend over a little bit. That's okay. Now, I do want a little bit more here, so I'm just going to come in, and I know you're supposed to work off of your palette. This is just a short, easy one, and I'm not, and it'll be okay. I know I've said that a lot on this video, like, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. It will. I'm gonna. So I'm more of a crafter than an artist, and it does mean that I don't always know the tricks and the techniques, and you don't have to either. That's part of why I want to do some of these videos, is to help everyone who's not. Just think you can just get in here and have fun, and you can learn along the way, right? Like, just learn how to make it more of what you want it to be. See, like this one, I messed up that line a bit, so I'm just going to go all the way over it, and I'll add more. I just want a little depth, but I don't want that big line. So just taking a semi-dry brush to kind of eliminate that big line. And it's okay. Also, this is the tricky part. If it gets everywhere else, it's okay. I'm gonna flick a little. I might need a bigger brush, but I'm also gonna clean up this mess really quickly. So you can use a paper towel or tissue. See, like I just made that worse a little. It's not the end of the world. Used to be when I was younger, and I've decided it's not. And I don't have a paper towel handy, so we're just gonna go with it. Okay, so we're just making a card here, and I'm gonna come in and make a little bit of a shadow underneath, just so it's not just floating in the air. And you can do that a couple different ways. You can come in and just do it like I'm doing it here. One way that's fun is to put water down and then drop in the color, and then it just sort of spreads in. So like that's nice and juicy, but again, I don't want that big line, so I'm just going to come in with what I do is rinse off the paint, take the water, and just grab a little bit here, and I can help soften that line. And work it down hard. All right. So I'm just gonna run the heat tool over it one more time. Okay. Now I can run the pen back over those lines to make it dark again. I hope you can see through my hand. Just tracing over the lines that I already had. Probably should have made that one a little fatter, but you know what? In real life, they're kind of crooked, and we're just gonna let it be. So that's probably still a little wet. My pen did not like to be there. And Okay, oops, get this little bottom here. Okay, so that's not bad. Now your next option is, on this card I stamped some leaves on here, and you could stamp something on, or you can leave it as is. Okay, so now they look at it, this citron and this mustard seed have come in pretty close together. So I think I will take and add in a little bit of a different color. So let's see, let me grab, okay, sorry about that, and I don't have great editing skills, so we're just gonna leave it in there. This is just non-crafty, I mean non-professional. You can do it too, playing around. So I'm just gonna line my lines up, and I'm gonna press again, and come in with this kind of rusty color. And where I've added the water, it doesn't matter, because this is also one that responds to the water, and so I can kind of go back and add that in. And I'm just doing this gently a little bit to let that yellow shine through a little. I kind of like it. Sort of gives it a highlighty look. Highlighty, I guess that's not a real word, but it probably is in the craft world. Okay, and this, because I didn't glue it down, so, and I kind of like how those edges popped on that, but that gives a little, just a little bit more, I think. I think that's good. So I'm gonna come back with the water though and squirt those, maybe there. And I need to get, really need to get something dry. I'm just gonna pick that up. Okay. So I can just, I'm just gonna use my heat gun for this, and you can decide if you're gonna stamp it or not. If it starts to curl up, I recommend flipping it over and see it flattens back down. See this one, and see how it just flatten it, and then I can also see if it's wet. Okay, so your next step is to attach it. Now, I just happen to have, move this out of the way, put my lid back on like a good crafter. Okay, I just happen to have 2 different sizes of adhesive, and so that's probably what I'm going to use. And so this first one will do kind of, I don't think I'm going to do the stamp on this one. So I'm just going to put it here, and I find that the pokey tool works pretty well. First, make sure that's pretty adhered. So I don't know about you, I'm excited about fall. Here in North Carolina, it is going to cool down next week because there's a front coming in from Canada, and I'm all about it. So you're just gonna line it up best you can. Again, it doesn't have to be perfect. And if you are a perfectionist, I understand, I really do. You know, I can be a perfectionist. I've definitely been a perfectionist most of my life and my career, and being in crafting and art, I've decided that I don't need to be a perfectionist, that it's okay, that I can relax and just sort of enjoy the journey. And I've learned to find a space where it's very calming and soothing and sort of zen for me. but I mean, that was after a couple years of throwing pieces in the trash and getting mad at it. So I'm not going to be dishonest. And my caution about throwing stuff in the trash is don't. Because don't right away. What I have discovered over the years is that some of the things that I really would have, I know this could go a lot faster, that I really thought I hated, that after I gave it a little time, I discovered that that really wasn't the case. And so the same thing, we're just going to line it up and put it on here and squish my adhesive. And now all I have to do is attach it to a card base. And so I haven't decided on the color, but the end result is something like this. And so you can pick your color. Again, you can decide if you're going to stamp it. I might try flicking some paint this time. Or if you change your mind and decide to stamp after it's raised, just keep in mind your edges will make it a little wonky, and so it might be a little loose. But that is how we're doing this today. So I hope that that was fun. I hope that if you're like me and not a professional and not trained in really anything, that you'll feel like you can do it too, that you can just get out there, have fun, relax, and enjoy the journey, and come out with some pretty things. So have a great day.